Welcome back to another captivating episode of our literature series. Today we're going to embark on a journey back in time to an era where emotions reigned supreme and nature's beauty was immortalized in ink, the Romantic era. We'll uncover how Romanticism, though rooted in the 18th and 19th centuries, still whispers to us through modern-day literary works. Romanticism, for those unfamiliar, was a profound reaction against the rationalism of the Enlightenment and the stark realities of the Industrial Revolution. It celebrated imagination, individual feelings, and the sublime beauty and power of nature. These weren't just fleeting themes, they were fervent beliefs that helped shape centuries of literature. Think of William Wordsworth wandering lonely at a cloud, beholding a field of daffodils, or Samuel Taylor Coleridge's dreamlike voyage in the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. These poets were not just creating art, they were sharing a piece of their souls, urging readers to break free from societal chains and see the world through a more emotional, individualistic lens. Today's literary scene might seem worlds apart from that era, but look closely, and you'll see those romantic tendrils weaving through contemporary narratives. Take a modern-day fantasy novel, for instance, where the protagonist often battles external evils, yes, but more crucially, they grapple with their inner demons, personal growth, and emotional transformation. The romantic emphasis on the individual also cannot be overstated. In an age where society was becoming more structured and individuals felt lost in the burgeoning metropolis, romantic literature was a haven. It said, "Your feelings matter. Your experiences are unique and worth sharing." And isn't that a sentiment that resonates even today? In an age of social media, where individual stories can shine brighter than ever before, we're all seeking that validation, that understanding that our journey, with all its joys and sorrows, is important. But it wasn't all about the individual. The Romantics had an intricate relationship with nature. They saw it as a reflection of human emotion, a place to seek solace and inspiration, and a powerful force with its own moods and whims. Modern literature, while more diverse in its portrayal of nature, still often echoes this sentiment. Whether it's the backdrop of a historical romance or the threatening woods in a horror tale, nature plays a pivotal role, sometimes comforting, sometimes challenging, but always deeply intertwined with our human story. Think about it. How many times have you read a book where a storm rolls in as tensions rise, or a tranquil sunrise mirrors a character's newfound hope? These are not mere coincidences. These are the enduring fingerprints of Romanticism, showing us that nature, in all its wild, untamable glory, is a mirror to our souls. And as we delve deeper into the complexities of the human psyche in literature today, exploring themes of mental health, personal discovery, and the intricate dance of human relationships, we're still channeling that romantic spirit. We're still asking those age-old questions about our place in the world, the depths of our emotions, and our connection to the world around us. Welcome back, dear listeners. If our previous discussion on Romanticism evoked images of picturesque landscapes and emotional reveries, you're in for a treat as we delve deeper into the finer nuances of this movement, understanding its profound impact on literature and society at large. You see, at the heart of Romanticism was a rebellion against the rigid confines of classical forms, against the cold logic of the Enlightenment, and against the socio-political structures that sought to repress individual expression. Romantics believed in the primacy of individual experience and emotion over societal norms. They cherished spontaneity, intuition, and imagination. Let's take a moment to think about Lord Byron, one of the movement's iconic figures. His works, such as Don Juan Juan and Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, reflect a restless spirit, challenging societal norms and conventions. Byron's characters are often outsiders, rebels, struggling against a world that doesn't understand or accept them. This archetype, the Byronic hero, has transcended time, appearing in various forms in contemporary literature, film, and even popular culture. Think of the brooding anti-heroes, the outsiders, the rebels who challenge the status quo. They owe a nod to Lord Byron and his Romantic contemporaries. Another pillar of Romanticism is the deep reverence for nature, which we touched upon in our previous segment. But it wasn't just a superficial appreciation of scenic beauty. For Romantics, nature was alive, almost sentient. It was a refuge, a teacher, and often a reflection of one's soul. The intricate relationship between man and nature was beautifully encapsulated by poets like Wordsworth and Shelley. Their poems are not just descriptions of nature, but meditations on life, existence, and the human soul. Today, as our world grapples with environmental crises, this romantic connection to nature takes on a poignant significance. Contemporary authors are weaving tales that underline the importance of nature, not just as a backdrop, but as a character in its own right. These narratives urge us to rekindle our lost relationship with the environment, reminding us of the romantic notion that nature is not separate from us, but an integral part of our existence. Now, one can't discuss Romanticism without highlighting its emphasis on the supernatural and the mysterious. The Romantics were fascinated by the unknown, the inexplicable, the eerie. This fascination birthed a genre that remains beloved today, Gothic literature. Haunted mansions, tragic heroines, and chilling atmospheres. Works like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and the tales of Edgar Allan Poe resonate with readers even today, thanks to their gripping blend of emotion, horror, and romantic ideals. As we traverse through the vast expanse of modern literature, traces of Romanticism are everywhere. In the fantasy novels that celebrate individual quests, in the love stories that prioritize emotion over reason, in the horror tales that delve deep into the human psyche, the romantic spirit is alive and thriving. As we wrap up today's segment, I urge you to revisit some classics from the Romantic era. Feel the raw emotion, immerse yourself in the beauty of nature, and embrace the mysteries of the universe. For in doing so, you'll not only appreciate the art of literature from centuries ago, but also understand its timeless influence on stories told today. Romanticism wasn't merely a literary movement. It was a cultural wave that encapsulated art, philosophy, and politics. At its core, Romanticism was a reaction, a counter-movement to the Industrial Revolution and the Enlightenment's empirical values. This period of transformation brought about urbanization and mechanization, which, while pioneering progress, often led to alienation. The Romantics sought solace in the organic, the natural, and the spontaneous. This sentiment might sound familiar to many of us today. In our fast-paced digital world, where our realities often blur with virtual realms, there's an increasing desire to reconnect with nature, with something real. Just as the Romantics sought refuge from the smog-filled cities and the clangor of machinery, many of us today are drawn to digital detox retreats, nature walks, and off. The yearning remains the same, a longing for authenticity, for a deeper connection to the world and to ourselves. Speaking of authenticity, the Romantics had a particular fascination with the self. They celebrated individualism, valuing personal experiences and emotions as the highest forms of truth. Today, in our age of social media, the self is ever present. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok allow individuals to express and curate versions of themselves. However, a critical difference lies in the motivation. While today's self-expression is often driven by validation from peers and followers, the Romantics were spurred by a genuine quest for self-discovery, regardless of societal validation. Literature from the Romantic era is replete with introspection and self-reflection. Think of John Keats and his odes, where he often contemplates life, love, and transience. Or consider Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which delves into the human psyche, exploring themes of guilt, redemption, and spiritual growth. These works invite readers to introspect, to question, and to feel deeply. The spirit of introspection also led Romantics to explore regions of the mind that were often shunned or feared. They weren't afraid of delving into the realms of melancholy, longing, or even despair. This gave birth to some of the most poignant poems and stories of unrequited love, tragic heroes, and the often tumultuous journey of the human spirit. They acknowledged the spectrum of human emotions, celebrating not just joy and love, but also sorrow and despair. As we navigate the complex challenges of the 21st century, be it mental health issues, societal pressures, or the existential dread brought about by global crises, the Romantic perspective offers solace. It reminds us of the beauty in vulnerability, the strength in emotion, and the value of genuine human connection. We have much to learn from the Romantics. Their belief in the transformative power of art, their reverence for nature, and their unwavering faith in human emotion provide a guiding light in our increasingly mechanized and digitized world. So, dear listeners, as we conclude this segment, I invite you to take a leaf out of the Romantic book. Pause, reflect, and cherish the simple wonders of life. Embrace every emotion and let art and nature be your refuge. And always remember, in the words of William Wordsworth, to me, the meanest flower that blows can give thoughts that do often lie too deep for tears. Welcome back to our closing segment on Romanticism Revisited. Over the course of our discussion, we've traversed the lush poetic landscapes of the Romantic era, uncovering the essence of its tenets and understanding how they intertwine with our contemporary lives. As we conclude, I'd like to emphasize some vital takeaways and inspire you to view literature and life through a Romantic lens. First and foremost, Romanticism teaches us to value our individual experiences. In a world inundated with information and external influences, it's crucial to listen to our inner voices. As Lord Byron, one of the eminent figures of this era, wrote, "To thine own self be true." Embracing our authenticity, celebrating our emotions, and finding our unique paths is essential. Moreover, the Romantics' intense relationship with nature encourages us to forge our bond with the natural world. As urbanization and digitalization continue to dominate our lives, it's more critical than ever to find moments of solace in nature's embrace. Whether it's taking a quiet walk in a park, observing the subtle changes in the seasons, or simply watching the dance of leaves in the wind, these moments anchor us and offer a respite from our hectic routines. Literature from the Romantic era also underscores the power of imagination. For the Romantics, imagination wasn't just a means to escape reality, but a tool to reshape it, to see the world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wildflower, as Blake so eloquently put it. In today's context, this inspires us to think beyond conventions, to envision a better world, and to be the change agents shaping that vision. As we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought. While the Romantic era might seem distant, its core beliefs and values resonate deeply with our current zeitgeist. Their literature acts as a mirror, reflecting our own struggles, dreams, and aspirations. And as we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, there's comfort in knowing that our emotions, hopes, and desires echo those of the Romantics from centuries past. Thank you for joining me on this enlightening journey. Stay curious, embrace the Romantic spirit, and let literature be the guide that enlightens and enriches your soul. Until our next literary adventure, take care and happy reading.